The lawsuit begins with an account from Grace O'Mara, a former yacht steward, who says the incident started in December 2022 while she was working aboard a yacht chartered by Diddy. According to her filing, Christian pressured her into taking a shot of tequila that she believed had been drugged.
Christian Combs allegedly found her a short time later and insisted she find him a place to sleep. She directed him to the yacht cinema, which was used as an extra sleeping area where he blocked her in, the suit states. Christian Combs allegedly began to touch her and took off his clothes. The suit states that his blank was blank and he grabbed her arms and was trying to force the plaintiff to perform, brains on him. The suit states.
She alleges that almost immediately after drinking it, the situation escalated. Grace claims that when she tried to get away, Christian followed her into a room on the yacht, restrained her, touched her without consent, and became aggressive.
According to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over.
She says she reported the incident to the captain, hoping for help, but felt ignored and later dismissed from her position. At that moment, she realized she had little support. Grace maintains that the most serious episode occurred inside the yacht's private theater.
And now we focus on December 28th, 2022. She says that Christian reportedly arrives on that yacht very intoxicated and then pressures her to take shots of tequila. She says that she did, that Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more, and she tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift recording studio. And that's important, and I'll explain why in a second. The complaint reads, at this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. And she says from there, she claims from there, that Christian allegedly kisses her neck and face as he gropes her legs, her breasts, her private areas. And according to her, she reportedly tells Christian, quote, excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Now, remember where I said this was happening, this recording studio? Well, the alleged assault was reportedly witnessed by Rodney Little Rod Jones. This is a music producer who had apparently accompanied Combs basically everywhere for a year while they were working on Combs' latest album, Love Off the Grid. And we remember that Rodney Jones has filed his own separate lawsuit against Sean Combs and others. And he was saying that he was in this recording studio when this was going on, when Christian and O'Markey were there. And he might even have some audio that was recorded of this interaction.
Afterward, Grace believes there was an organized effort to suppress what happened. She alleges that she and her partner were shut out of the internal process, while only selected crew members were asked to submit statements. The accusation that Diddy protects his public image at the expense of alleged victims has gained renewed attention because of claims like hers.
She says she tried to go back to work, but Christian ends up finding her and wants her to find him a place to sleep for the night in the yacht. So she takes him to the cinema room of the yacht. And that is when she claims Christian stopped her from leaving, groped her, took off all of his clothes, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. Now, she says she was allegedly able to fight him off. Someone walks into the room, and then she was able to leave. And she said when she reported this to the captain, according to her, the captain berates her. And she alleges that the captain may have even been paid off by Sean Combs to keep quiet about what happened. And I will tell you what's really interesting about this complaint, embedded in the complaint are photographs that purport to be O'Markey's arms with bruises on them. And that is really interesting. You don't usually see that in a complaint like this. Now, she's not only suing Christian Combs, like I mentioned before, for all those different causes of action, but she is also suing Sean Combs too. You see, Sean Combs is named as a defendant because she accuses him of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Premises liability means that you have a duty to keep people on your property safe from injury.
Jurisdiction complicates the case, as the yacht was not located in California at the time. Still, complicated does not mean impossible. With multiple federal, state, and even international investigations surrounding Diddy and his circle, related, matters could be revisited. Grace's allegations are serious enough that authorities could re-examine them if additional evidence or witnesses emerge. Diddy has faced scrutiny in several regions, and Christian resides in California, which may draw further attention if investigators see links to broader patterns previously alleged. If reopened and supported by evidence, the case could lead to formal charges that carry potential prison time. The situation is intensified by ongoing criticism of Christian's public behavior. A recent viral video showed him celebrating energetically in what appeared to be a music-style clip, shouting, dancing, removing his shirt, and doing push-ups on the pavement, seemingly marking his father's legal victories.
We're all about, oh, Diddy's turning gray behind bars. Who gives a flying fig about his hair? I don't care. I want this to be about the victims. That's what I want. That's how I perceive it. And I have dealt with so many victims. I've had victims that could never have a romantic relationship with a man after that. That feeling of helplessness, you can't fight back. And you just, then after, people may not believe you. If you're lucky enough to have children, it affects how you raise them. You know, like my fiance was murdered shortly before our wedding. You think I don't know where my children are right now? You don't think I'll look at Life 360 50 times a day? When my husband leaves to go out of town, I'm like, well, he could die. That's just my reality.
That's trauma, yeah.
Same thing with these.
The conversation later turned more pointed. Gene argued that Christian grew up with privilege and never truly had to struggle for anything. In his view, he was raised in wealth, constantly protected, yet eager to project a tough, street-hardened image that did not match his reality.
The defense, meanwhile, argued that women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. And there you see, after the verdict, Diddy's family celebrating on the streets in New York City, doing push-ups on the sidewalk while others danced. They said a few words exclusively.
Soon after, another clip surfaced online. In this one, Christian, also known as King, was seen urging his girlfriend to twerk on camera. She appeared uncomfortable, but he continued trying to show off. To Gene, it felt like watching a younger version of Diddy repeating familiar patterns.
Clown shit. King clown. That's some real clown shit. Man, listen to me, man. Let me just tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. He's still going to jail. You happy because he didn't get the RICO and the racketeering, so he gets to keep his money. He gets to keep his inheritance. He gets to keep all the shit that they stole over the years from other people. That's why he happy. Him and Puff wasn't that tight. They used to go at it. People close by would tell that story. Yeah, that's still his father. But you and I both know that extra shit right out there, come on, man. Outside the court, the judge might give him extra time for this and his antics. Puff not coming home, bro. And you gotta realize, at 50-something years old, he'll come out to get his Social Security or better. How old is he? Born in 69? We're like 54, 55, something like that. He'll come out and get his Social Security. He had to do 85% of his time. That right there, King Kong or Christian, acting like that in front of the courts, in front of everybody, they be taking these judges back information. These fucking, the officers, they got people around there looking at that. There were victims in this case, bro.
Jean said Christian tends to act impulsively, and that kind of behavior can have consequences. Investigators observe everything. Judges pay attention. Prosecutors document public statements, especially when someone appears to boast, intimidate, reference threats in lyrics, or celebrate outside a courthouse. By the end of his remarks, Jean made it clear he was no longer surprised by any of it.
But when do you grow up, man, and be who you really are? Because you ain't no gangster. You don't know what a gangster is. You a prankster. You a prankster, son. Stop that. I think when the people heard the mixtape and they called him out on it, and they was checking him and they was trying to check him, but they lost, bruh. They don't have no guidance. The dude who's supposed to be doing, I don't know if he's security or whatever like that. Man, what the fuck is you doing out here like this? He gets on the ground and start doing push-ups up with him. Bruh, for real? Man, put your shirt on and get your ass back in that damn car. Stop acting like you stupid. Act like you got some sense. That's when they making the dollar make them, bruh. The dollar is making them. What you happy about? You gotta realize they know his daddy's still going to jail. They happy because they feel like the government doesn't have a right to mess with nobody's assets at this time. The verdict on the RICO, non and void. Nothing. Racketeering, nothing. And I guess it was some kind of, what was the other charge? Sex or something like that? Not sex. They got the sex charges, but the RICO, the racketeering, and the kidnapping. The kidnapping. Coercion, kidnapping, all this like that. All that was non-void. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. But you still partying? Your dad about to do some time.
If Jean's assessment proves accurate, Christian Combs could face serious legal trouble if his actions continue drawing scrutiny, much like his father has. The situation becomes more complicated, given that his father no longer lives the lavish lifestyle he once displayed publicly.
As well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in the
car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part,
according to federal records, Diddy's projected release date could be June 4th, 2028, depending on good behavior and completion of required programs, though those factors would not dramatically reduce his sentence. Until then, he remains on a Bachi-way structured schedule at FCI Fort Dix. The question now is whether Christian will take a different path or repeat the same cycle. Share your thoughts below.